All right, today I'm going to try to explain to you how to use the Desmos calculator to help you order numbers from least to greatest or greatest to least. So looking at this one example here, 4 students are each trying to raise the same amount of money for a class trip. The table below shows how much each student's goal has been met. So what I'm going to tell you to do is use your Desmos calculator, and notice this is the star version, so you will be able to use this calculator on your star. And go ahead and plug those values in one at a time. So remember, to do that, you're just going to plug it in using your keypad. So plugged in 0.7, and then 2 divided by 3, then 5 divided by 8. And finally, percentages, if you can do it in your head, that's great. But if you can't, you can go ahead and type in 65%, and there's a little functions button over here if you want to pull up the percentage over here. It's also on your keyboard. But notice when you do that, it says 65% of, and in this case, it's 65% of 1. And in every case, when you're working with organizing the numbers from least to greatest. So let's look a little bit closer at our Desmos calculator. Notice if it's given to you as a decimal, it stays. The calculator doesn't do anything at all. If it gives it to you as a fraction, or you plug in a fraction, converts it to a decimal. Same thing with the 5/8, and then 65% of 1 converts it to a decimal. Now, what I would like for you to do different, and what's awesome about this calculator, is you can actually grab these and organize it. Now, the question asks for us to do it from least to greatest. And what we're going to do here is just grab these things and do it. So what is my least value here? Just look at the decimals, 0.7, 0.66, 0.625. That'd be my least. So I'm just going to move that up to the top because that should be the first thing in my list from least to greatest, right? And then the next one would be 0.65 and 0.67. And there's your list. Now, when you look at the question and say, okay, what is the best list? What's the best choice? You have it laid out for you perfectly. All right, so there is another method you could use. I reset the numbers the way they were at the beginning. And the other method you could do to kind of get these a more visual representation on the graph is if you type in y equals before each of the numbers, you'll see that they actually put a line on the graph there. Now we're going to do that for each of the values. I'm going to try here, y equals. And right now it just looks like the number is going to be put on top of each other. Well, that's because they are so close to each other. After you put y equals in for all of them, just zoom in a little bit. Okay, not a little bit, a lot. And now you have a nice color-coded way to see which one would be the least. Well, the very least would be the one closest, or the one furthest on the bottom. So I'm going to put the green first, and then the purple, and then, nope, green, purple, blue, red. That's from least to greatest, because that's the way the question was asking us, right? Right here, from least to greatest. So that's another way you can do it.